No matter where you go in our country, you have people talking about jobs and the importance of attracting the high wage sector. And here I believe that entrepreneurs are the very foundation of economic development. And let's also be reminded that those high wage sector jobs, Intel, Apple, so on and so on, they were all startups at one point. So it's important to support our entrepreneurs from the ground up, and something special will happen. That said, we have this man, Randy Lennon, the president of VA Angels, one of the largest venture capital groups from Canada. They're right here in Phoenix.
Yeah, that's
Welcome
cool.
to Phoenix.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Yeah.
I like the weather.
Well, coming from Canada,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. They asked me, I got asked why we chose Phoenix and for the VA Angels to come and set up our first angel investment group in the United States. And the honest answer is because I like Phoenix. That's the honest answer. So.
Well, Randy, as I mentioned in the press conference, this is more than just Phoenix welcoming the VA Angels. This is truly an ecosystem.
Yeah.
Our higher education institutions, our co-working spaces, incubators, accelerators, you were speaking with GPEC and the chambers, and Local First was here, and on and on. We are all so excited to have you here because we value our entrepreneurs and we want them to stay here. And if you are not here, then they may find you someplace else.
True, and Phoenix is not known as a hub of high-tech entrepreneurial. Not yet. It's known as a place. When I came down here and said, "Well, let's set up a VA Angels," I talked to investors, successful people that have money to invest, and they all want to invest. They've made their money in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot more happening. There's great real estate opportunities in Silicon Valley, but that's not what they're focused on.
Right.
They're focused on growing companies that employ people, and as you said, we're writing checks to entrepreneurs who have that entrepreneurial vision, who are starting and growing companies. But as those companies grow, they hire people. They hire employees. Employees are an important part, but think about people that have been employees and become wealthy being an employee. Why? Mm-hmm. Because they took a job in the early days of Microsoft. They were an employee, and because they couldn't pay the wages because they were too early in the process, maybe they got some stock options because they were part of that company. Well, you know what? That's something that young people today, not all young people are going to be entrepreneurs and start their own business, but a lot of them can actually go and work for young entrepreneurs and in the early stages of companies. And that's what excites me. That's the type of business that's where we get involved as angel investors, is in the early days. We're not putting hundreds of millions or billions we're not getting these big grants. We're putting like 100,000 real dollars and in taking, a small percentage of the company, but teaming up with that entrepreneur and following our money and looking after our money. How? By coaching and mentoring that entrepreneur, because guess what? We've all been there. We've all done that. We've all had to make a payroll. I talked about it in the press conference. We've all maxed out our credit card to cover the payroll that month. And that's the reality of what it takes, because it always takes longer and there's more obstacles than you ever anticipate when you start up a company. So yes, the banks, they play their role, but usually it's a little further down the road when there's a little less risk involved.
Randy, what do you think of the 5K, 5Y? I mentioned to you 5K, 5Y, and I explained that. What do you think?
I think that is awesome, because we coach young entrepreneurs and business owners about the concept of goal setting. And we learn that, in sports, and hopefully we're learning it in school these days. But you have to know where you're headed in order to take the right path. And it's up to you to decide where you're headed. So for the city of Phoenix, a councilman like you, to say, hey, we're going to have 5,000 new startup companies in this city over the next 5 years, that is fantastic. And it's going to play itself out in ways that you would have never imagined. When you set that goal, you didn't know that you'd be having a new angel investment group just showing up in Phoenix. That's how goal setting works. So congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. We're just getting started. So we're going to keep you busy with that 5K, 5Y goal.
Absolutely.
And
if
more
there's
will
any
come.
way I can help, I'd love to help, because this is kind of like my second home, Phoenix, and I want to, I'm not interested in real estate myself personally. I'm interested in growing companies.
Well, thank you for being here. Welcome to Phoenix.
Glad to be here.
All right, we'll be seeing a lot of each other.
Okay, you bet.